Remember?
Yeah, I would have liked to see him queue up Freeze Mage. I think I don't know. This felt like a really good matchup to me, and I think the difference really was just the strong draw from Dethelor, and then could follow up, and
Oh,
then of course the Archmage sealed the deal with the finicky cloak field.
yeah.
But it's
Wow.
just, gosh, I mean, what a brutal game. The situation he got himself into with the Ancient of War, and then just like the fireball draw to completely take that out and just continue to apply pressure every step of the way. That's been my experience with the Druid versus Mech Mage matchup. But I could definitely see how tough it is if they don't end up drawing fireball.
Yeah, that fireball was actually very, very crucial. If the fireball was not drawn, then Devlin would have to sacrifice all his board to kill his Ancient of War, and then
Yeah.
Belch is gonna come and so on. So that fireball came spot on. Forsen really had to think whether his freeze mage is gonna bring him to victory or his trusty warrior is gonna sweep the series.
I think if he queues up Freeze Mage, it's gonna get queued.
Nope, here's the freeze mage. The floor has a few seconds to decide, and no,
Yeah.
he knows that the freeze mage of Forsen is a contender, right? I mean, last time he actually dropped 2 games to the freeze mage. The last game was super close, and he doesn't want to deal with it. And now Warrior has to face against this onslaught of decks. Is it a wrong? Is it a incorrect mistake? Like a mistake that Forsen didn't use the coup on the mech mage to start?
I think it was, and I think it was just because he was facing the Paladin versus Mech Mage matchup, which is just gonna be so awful for you that
Right.
I feel like it's not you're not making like a great use out of your coup, but you're not getting your Paladin deck just picked off straight away. And I think that's really the important part of it.
All right. Well, that's it, Forsen. You have 1 coup and you have 1 warrior. You have to defeat 4 classes to stay in the tournament.
Gosh, it's just so rough to do. He does have a coup available though, so maybe he's gonna coup this Mech Mage finally.
Finally, oh my god. That seems a little bit bad.
If he can beat the this is also sort of an area where he feels like, does he feel like Mech Mage or Druid's going to be worse for Warrior, and so he can try to beat one or the other and then coup the one he thinks is worse for him, because he's got to beat one of them anyway.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess it just depends on your starting hand once again, right? Warrior does really thrive on having the right curve, playing your Despot on 4, Belcher on 5, Shield Maiden on 6, and so on. Like, once again, I think if you can actually take whatever card you want from the deck at any time, I think Warrior will be one of the best decks in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you just take Fire War X in most of your matchups.
Yeah, Fireworks, right? Act of Pain, so on.
Yeah.
Draw removal whenever you want. Warrior's definitely a big contender given the right cards. Here's a Fireworks. Want to play this matchup?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to coup it anymore, but again, still, he's just going to be facing down so much early pressure.
Shield block is important.
It's a matter of if he can fend this off or not.
Ooh, Armor Smith is also a very good draw. Wow, he has 2 answers to 2 things, right? For example, if Dethelor decides to just go with a 1-drop, he could actually use the Armor Smith. And if Dethelor actually goes a little bit greedy here and coins a Mech Warper into a Gnome, then no, Fireworks deals with that pretty fine. It is just going to be a tiny Cogmaster here. It's going to get chopped down by the axe. And Dethelor's next turn, looking like a Mech Warper turn, if anything.
Helen Blast Mage certainly able to get some damage done here, but Armor Smith is going to offset a lot of this. And he's drawn Fireball early on, and he didn't draw Snow Chugger. And Forsen did draw Fiery War Axe, and I think this is sort of the recipe for disaster for Dethelor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd actually like to see him coin Spider Tank.
Really? Doesn't feel good, It doesn't feel good. That's for sure.
Well, what else doesn't feel good is just getting your guy just taken out straight away.
That's true.
If he coins the Spider Tank, and let's say he draws like a Noyatron, he can Mech Warper, Clockwork Gnome, a Noyatron after that.
Right.
Or even if he draws Snow Chugger, he can play the Mech Warper, Clockwork Gnome, Snow Chugger after that.
Yeah.
And the Spider Tank isn't threatened directly by the Fiery War Axe that's out there, so it's actually just going to live.
All right, Dethelor's going to value the coin a little bit more and actually go with this play instead. Ragnaros is also very important against a Mech Mage in the later stages of the game. Armistive is going to punish this Clockwork Gnome. And hey, that's TTT here drawn. It's a pretty good draw.
Well, it is and it isn't. He's not going to get access to Blast Mage next turn. Oh, he actually might coin and freeze that now.
Oh, but that doesn't feel good, right? I mean, if you draw Antonitis, you just lost 2 fireballs if you do that.
Yeah, it doesn't, but it's just, oh gosh, I don't know. It feels so much worse this way. Like, say he had coined and frozen this thing. If his opponent doesn't have a removal spell for the Tinkertown Technician, it can run into the Armorsmith, prevent this from happening, and that Clockwork Gnome is going to continue to deal 2 damage until he's found an answer to it.
That's true. Definitely a lot of choices there that Dethelor could have took. Forsen, of course, trying to stay alive and trying to find a 5 or 6 drop for soon. Spider Tank's gonna come down here, of course. Why not? And would you like to use a spare part? Eh.
See, that's the other thing too. Is it's weird to me he's choosing to use spare parts now,
right? And
instead
especially
and then he didn't choose to use it last year. That's what it's like. I feel like this is a matchup where he may be like he may be navigating it a little bit worse than he has the other matchups, and to me, it speaks a little bit of unfamiliarity. His other matchups have been like so on point, and he's been like very aggressive. You know, he also it may be getting to him a little bit that he had to disconnect and had to go to a land center to go play the rest of his matches like that. I mean, that'd be a frustrating experience for me if I was in a match and ended up getting a loss because I wasn't able to participate, and then had to relocate to play the match. Like that would get to me a little bit. So maybe that's something we're seeing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, comfort's a big factor. If you're not as comfortable as you can be, it's harder to focus.
That's true. But still, with that said, Dethelor is still up 2-0. So it just needs to get one more win, and the series is his. So Forsen in here right now. You could try and clear these things, but this is so inefficient, right? You sacrifice your Armistive and then execute, and then what? That's it? Just play a naked BGH? Whoa. What is happening here? What? Why would you use the Whirlwind here? I mean, I feel like you don't even need to use the Whirlwind here.
Yeah, I don't really know either. This feels like really. Yeah, it just feels strange to me.
It's a really weird Whirlwind. I mean, the Whirlwind keeps your Armistive alive, and okay. I'm not a big fan of that play. Goblin Blast Mage is an obvious choice here for Dethelor. Can hit your opponent for effectively 2 damage, right? Because one of them is just gonna hit the Armistive.
Yep.
Okay. And Forsen's health is still sitting pretty. And the Sylvanas is actually gonna be a little bit of a annoyance, if anything. Crew Taskmaster. Ooh! Whoa! You can actually kill this Goblin Blast Mage right now.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Sylvanas either though.
Right.
Because he has enough life total to play with right now that this isn't like a big risk. Like if he was at say like 17 instead.
Okay.
You don't want to be taking that much damage, but he's at 25 right now. So if he takes 8 damage to like really throw a wrench in his opponent's game, what ends up happening is he gets to make up the fact that 8 damage was dealt by stalling his opponent's development for a certain number of turns.
Right. Yeah. All right. So Dethelor here, thinking about the Goblin Blast Mage because if it goes phase, it's free damage. What is this gonna hit? Oh. Oh. Okay. 2-2. Fair enough. Coolant obviously gonna come down.
Yeah. This is really the problem with the Sylvanas turn is if he got a coolant off of one of his cogs.
But how about this? How about you silence the Sylvanas, kill something, and then Crew Taskmaster and BGH and kill the other one?
I think it's going to end up being his play. I don't really see what else is going to be happening.
Oh,
I don't think you have enough life to utilize Despite at this point.
It's so funny because you think that you had enough life one turn earlier, and now you have no life, right? It's so fast
Well,
that the
yeah, I
24
mean
is
that's
good.
that's the nature of it. You have like one turn where you can pay, 6 to 10 life
Yep.
to really get that a big tempo advantage, so you can start taking advantage of the board situation. But just not the case in this one. The emergency coolant really pulling a lot of weight.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the silence and the crew taskmaster BG plays like perfectly fine. You just need to stabilize, right? I mean, after you put down Rag, and hopefully Rag snaps a few minutes, you just need to find shield block, and you need to find Alex Straza. Shield maidens are really good. There's a lot of good cards you can draw to like extend your health pool. And of course, even the hero power, right? Hero power is 2 times as strong as the ping from your opponent. So yeah, that's a one way to live. Man, Forsen shaking his head. He doesn't know what to do here. He's gonna go with the cruel BGH play. Oh man. Come on, silence is so bonus. You really need to stabilize Forsen. And oh, is this
Well,
it?
it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, it's exactly 17 points of damage.
Oh,
It's
Forsen,
actually
Forsen.
18 with coin and hero power, but yeah, that's
Oh,
going to end up doing it. Dethelor's going to take the series 3 games to 0, and this is going to be another victory for him. Where just, my gosh, just Mech Mage was able to deal just so much damage, even after the Fiery War Axe start and getting disrupted in multiple stages of the game, and just everything that went on. Just so
oh,
much.
the coin coming up as well. Wow.
What a big victory. 3-0 for
Oh,
Dethelor.
the
Oh my
big
gosh.
EM. Oh man.
Oh, just
Frost
let it
on his
rip.
face. He's gonna take it. Dethelor looks pretty happy about himself. Of course, he did have to drop a series due to like his account being frozen, but now it's back. But unfortunately, it's Forsen that gets the out. And yeah, Dethelor's gonna advance to a very convincing Mech Mage 3-0.
Mech Mage is looking really strong, I must say. Like, with no Undertaker in the format, it means your Mech Warper lives sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, you're probably still Wrath it, they can still Fiery War Exit. What doesn't happen though is they can't Undertaker it and then still have a 16 power minion
Yeah.
afterwards. So it looks so strong right now, and it's no surprise to see a bunch of people having brought it. And all the freeze mages and all of the fatigue mages kind of like they fell by the wayside. And
Mhm.
Mech Mage though has just been so like, we haven't seen it like have like one of those games where it's like it can't do anything. It's like even in the Strife Crow one where he got the mind control tech, he had to take a Doctor Boom to make sure that he to make sure that he secured that, because otherwise it still could have been kind of open. But it's
That's
just
right.
so strong, and just I would have loved to see Forsen Kuit at the start of that one, just to make
Yeah.
sure that he didn't have the one bad matchup versus the Paladin versus Mech Mage, and it just ended up snowballing from there.
Definitely not Forsen's day, but maybe another day would be better for him. If we look at the brackets, final time for day one. This is the last time we're gonna look at this. Of course, Life Coach in the winners bracket, he's gonna advance from day one. Then the losers bracket, Dethelor is gonna advance, and now we can actually look at the today's actually day three bracket, the playoffs. And here we have it. Orange and Dethelor are gonna fight it out, and the loser is gonna be fourth place. The winner goes on to face against Life Coach, and the loser of that's gonna take third place. And then the winner of that actually faces against Strife Crow, of course, who's waiting on top of the Pinnacle right now, right? And the grand champion will take home $2,500. Sponsored, of course, by G2A.com and Twitch. Thank you very much, guys. This is Team Archon's Pinnacle 2, and we will see you guys right after this 5-minute break.